They touch your body, but never reach your soul. It's the sad truth many women leave with. Their bodies are held, but their hearts remain untouched, their desires half met, their minds ignored, and night after night they lay next to a man who has no idea what real intimacy even means. But let's talk about the kind of man who does get it. The man who doesn't just perform in the bedroom, but transforms the bedroom, because there's a difference, a big one, and the most powerful shift happens not between the sheets, but between the ears. You see, the most attractive men in the bedroom are not just those with the best moves, the perfect bodies, or the deepest voices. No, the most attractive men are the ones who understand the weight of emotional presence. The ones who don't make love to escape but to connect, to honor, to listen, to see. Let me ask you, when was the last time you felt truly seen in the bedroom, not just touched, not just desired, but seen mind, body, and spirit? There's a kind of man who makes a woman feel like she's the only person in the world in that moment, and he's not a fantasy, he's not some unicorn, he exists, and the reason he stands out is because while most men chase pleasure, he creates safety. Let me tell you a story. Nadia was married for 8 years. From the outside, it looked perfect. 2 kids, weekend vacations, matching pajamas on Instagram. But behind closed doors, she cried herself to sleep. Not because her husband was cruel, not because he cheated, but because night after night, he took her body without ever reaching into her heart. He didn't know how. He never asked. He never learned. He thought doing his job meant touching her, entering her, rolling over, and sleeping soundly. But what about her? And one day she broke, not in anger, not in rage, but in silence. She stopped trying. She stopped dressing up. She stopped showing interest because she knew the script. It was predictable, robotic, and empty. She didn't want performance, she wanted presence, and that is the difference between men who just do and men who know. Now let's get honest as a man. You've probably been told that your worth in the bedroom is measured by your stamina, size, or skill. That being good in bed means lasting long or making her scream. But what if I told you that the men women remember the men who leave a mark are not the ones who impress with power, but the ones who impress with patience? Because real intimacy starts long before the clothes come off. It starts with how you look at her, how you speak to her, how you understand her rhythm, her moods, her mind. It's in the subtle things, the way you hold her hand in the kitchen, the way you stroke her back when she's stressed, the way you listen without trying to fix. Are you really listening, or are you just waiting for your turn? A man who is truly good in the bedroom makes a woman feel emotionally safe. That safety allows her to let go, to be free, to be wild, to be vulnerable. Without that safety, everything is a performance. You want passion, give her peace. You want fire, give her freedom. You want depth. Then go deeper, not just physically, but emotionally, because here's the truth. Any man can make her body tremble, but it takes a rare man to make her soul feel held. You want to be that man, then listen carefully. Be attentive, not just aggressive, when she speaks. Stop thinking about what you're going to do next. Stop rushing through foreplay like it's a checklist. Stop treating her body like a puzzle to solve. Instead, be curious, be slow, be present. Ask her what she likes and actually mean it. Don't just hear her words, study her body language. Does she pull away when you go fast? Does she hold her breath? Or does she lean in when you pause and breathe with her? The best lovers are not selfish. They're students. They don't assume they learn. They explore, they observe. And here's the part no one teaches young men. The mind is the most powerful erogenous zone. If you can't touch her there, you've already lost. She may comply, she may perform, but she won't surrender, not really. And the truth is, women don't want to be conquered, they want to be invited. Invited into a space where their guard can come down, their wounds can be safe, and their truth can be embraced. A man who creates that kind of space, irresistible, but let's take it deeper. Let's talk about silence in the bedroom, not the awkward kind. I'm talking about the sacred silence, the moments in between where nothing is said, but everything is felt, the kind of silence where your presence is loud enough to calm her insecurities, where your eyes say, "You're enough, you're safe, you're mine." That's not weakness. That's mastery. You don't need dirty talk if you haven't mastered tender talk. You don't need new positions if you can't hold her in one with intention. Because trust me, most women aren't craving more adventure. They're craving more authenticity. She wants to feel desired not just as a body, but as a being. And the man who brings that into the bedroom, he doesn't have to ask for her loyalty. He doesn't have to beg for her love. She gives it freely, fully, and with fire. Let me say something every man needs to hear. Your greatest performance isn't in how long you last, it's in how deeply she feels. Did you make her feel loved? Desired, cherished? Did you give or did you take? Because you can't fake presence. You can't fake intention. And eventually she will know. She'll know if you're there for her or for yourself. She'll know if you're making love to her or to your ego. So ask yourself, am I showing up with power or with presence? Let me tell you about Michael. He wasn't the best looking, he wasn't rich, but every woman who spent time with him said the same thing. I felt like I was the most beautiful woman in the world. Why? Because he listened. He didn't rush. He didn't grope. He didn't treat intimacy like a goal. He treated it like a gift. He made her laugh before he made her moan. He wiped her tears without asking why. He kissed her forehead more than her body. He held her after, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. And the women who experienced that never forgot it, because in a world full of men who take, he gave. What kind of man do you want to be? One who brags about numbers, or one who leaves lasting impressions? One who is remembered for performance or for presence? Because the truth is, when a man leads with love, with sensitivity, with emotional depth, he becomes unforgettable. Not because he was perfect, but because he was real. And I know this isn't what culture teaches men. It's not what porn promotes. It's not what locker rooms encourage, but it's what women remember. So if you want to be the man who doesn't just take her to bed, but takes her somewhere sacred, then start by asking yourself, am I here to prove or to provide, to perform or to connect? Because men who understand this don't just change their sex life, they change their relationships, their confidence, and their legacy. Don't be the man who just touches skin. Be the man who touches souls. Conclusion of the entire speech, 1,000 words with motivation. Let's bring it all home now. If you've listened this far, you've already taken the first step, the step most never do. You've dared to look deeper. You've dared to ask more of yourself, and that alone is powerful. But let me be brutally honest with you. This journey is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy to unlearn the lies you've been told. It's not comfortable to step away from what's common, but what's common is not what's fulfilling. You want extraordinary, you have to become extraordinary, and that starts with intention. Too many men walk through life on autopilot, doing what they think they're supposed to do. Performing, pretending, following scripts written by people who never had their best interest at heart. But not you. You're here, and that means something. It means you care. It means you're willing to grow. It means you refuse to settle for surface-level connection. You want depth. You want intimacy. You want to be the kind of man who doesn't just impress in a moment, but leaves a legacy in someone's heart. And here's the motivation I want to leave you with. Everything you've ever wanted in love, in intimacy, in connection, it starts with you. You don't need to be taller. You don't need to be richer. You don't need to be smoother. You need to be present, intentional, emotionally available. That is your superpower. In a world where most men are disconnected from their emotions, running from vulnerability, chasing validation, you have the chance to be different. To be rare, and that rarity, it's magnetic. Because here's the secret no one tells you. Women don't fall for men who are flawless, they fall for men who are real. Men who show up fully, men who love boldly. Men who take the time to learn, to listen, to lead with gentleness and strength. You can be that man. You can become unforgettable, not because you mastered technique, but because you mastered presence. Let this be your turning point. Let this be the night you said, enough with surface level. Let this be the moment you decided to lead with your heart, not your pride. You've got this, and the world needs more men like you. Because when a man chooses to be intentional in the bedroom, he changes everything outside of it too. Relationships deepen, trust multiplies, love becomes unshakable, and that is the kind of life worth living. So go not to perform, but to connect, not to impress, but to impact, and never forget. The most unforgettable men are the ones who make women feel safe, seen, and sacred. Be that man. You're already becoming him.